here we are, and we've managed to grab the guys. I know you've just finished your packing up in record time. That was, what, 15 minutes, and you're all done?
Yeah, you get pretty used to it over the years, you know, making sure you don't leave anything anywhere in the dark amongst the bass.
Now, you just saw these guys here on the main stage. I know you guys don't get the chance to play as many gigs as you like, but quickly talk to us about your latest piece of work, Birdville Sessions.
Well, that's actually going back some. The latest thing we've just done is actually called it's a dubstep release on the internet. So we started doing stuff just through the internet, like most bands these days now. So we just put out a 4-tracker called Dubstep Sessions, actually.
Yeah, nice, tidy. And do you get your music sort of looked at by people overseas as well, or?
Yeah, man.
When you're mastering it, producing?
Me and Simon were amazed. We did like this little clip, and it's just the power of YouTube, the power of the internet. We did it, and within a few weeks, it was like over 40,000 hits, and we were like, wow. So we've been very excited. Like, there's a big vibe out there. So
you've got a lot of competition with cats playing pianos. That's pretty good. Well done.
Okay.
Now, in terms of some of the people that could be watching this over in the UK and Holland, who are some of the guys you'd like to shout out to? You guys do some work with BJB Studios?
Well, yeah, back in the day, we
back
did.
in the day.
I don't know where'd you got your press information from, but that studio doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
So me and Simon, you know, we work from our own studio, and we do a lot of stuff here and there and everywhere. But at the moment, man, like Simon does a whole bunch of different projects. So I do a whole bunch of different projects.
Yeah.
So what did you do this
Some of the guys overseas that are watching this now that you've been working with, or you want to give a shout out to?
Some of the guys that I've been working with, to people in Red Band 2 and Wild Marmalade. I actually am from Byron Bay, that's where I live, which is, for people who don't know, sort of like a little coastal seaside village on the east coast of Australia, and I work with a whole lot of musicians there. I'm actually in my own bubble there, actually. I do a lot there. Sorry to everyone overseas, I don't really get over there that much, but...
Everyone come down to Byron Bay, I guess.
I just, on the other hand, Simon and I just hooked up here in Australia, and Bobby's been in India. I've been in South America. I've been touring around Europe, and you know, it's a funny thing. If you're overseas and you're watching what you just watched, you probably realize that over here in Australia, we are a long way away, and we don't get out enough. And you guys, if you are watching this, please get some crew from Australia. We love to come over to your side of the world, and you know, it's always an awesome honor. But because we're double the airfare of most acts anywhere else. And then you got all you guys from the UK, you got Spain, you got America, everyone just shares that.
Yeah.
No one goes, oh, we need some freaky little group from Australia.
Yeah.
But you guys got to change the way you
The point
think.
is, we want to come. We're up for it.
Yeah.
We'll come play your festival.
And it does look nice, doesn't it, on the ticket? You know, the Birds, Australia. You know, a little bit of curiosity is sparked there. Now, guys, while you're here, 3 or 4 people during the festival before said they wanted to, you know, make sure they don't miss your gig. So I'll just get the boys to sign this shirt. We'll figure out what we're going to do with it after. Maybe you can help us with some comments in the YouTube conversation. Click a few buttons, you'll be there. Now, Simon, talk to me. When you're up there on stage and you've got so many instruments to work with, is it just a sort of natural, free-flowing sort of train of thought? Because you said you came on there with a bit of a plan with the set, and that all just went out the window and you went freestyle.
Yeah.
So how do you guys move forward through the set?
What it is, I suppose, is a combination of having worked together for quite a while, but we're essentially improvising. We're like a jam band, because what we've found is that sometimes it's about sort of vibing off the crowd and feeling the energy and going like, yeah, let's just push the tempo up, and yeah, that riff's awesome, let's just stay there, and okay, and someone calls a change, and it's fairly free-flowing. The integration of the technology is that we've been musicians watching technology change, and the amount of things that you can do, and you can play with this, and oh my God, now I can do that, and I can send that to this, and so we're actually exploring with our own band all the little possibilities of things, of bits of technology that we like working with, but keeping it all 100% live.
Yeah, and that's so true. And the other bit of technology that I would have loved was just that pen and a bit of paper, because I had to set up a deck and I had to set up my own little bass rig. You can see I invented this thing where I'm singing in a mic and there's a bit of bass coming out. And I was so busy setting it up in the drums, and I couldn't even write out a set list. So that was all right. We just watched the crowd. And at one stage, Si's right, we did throw it out the window, but I looked at Bobby and it was just like, let's get him to do that again. And having someone like Bobby on stage with us is such an honor.
Yeah.
So, you know, you just want to watch the crowd. And if a band doesn't have a sense of what's actually happening at the gig, who cares about the set? You just got to really make it work in the fly. So.
Yeah, exactly, for the audience. They absolutely loved it. Now, we do have Xavier Rudd getting ready, preparing. They're doing the little sound check here. Do you guys? I mean, you're from Byron Bay. You must see Xavier walking down the street all the
Yeah,
time.
we go surfing, we hang. You know, he's one of my people there, more or less.
More or less.
More or less.
Yeah. Okay. And in terms of what the people are from Byron think about Xavier, is he a bit of a legend?
Yeah, totally. I mean, like he, whenever he plays there, he's got a lot of people, a lot of support, and he personifies music that people identify within that area.
Yeah, great. Now, guys, I want to make sure that you're prepared for the next 3 days. So, to Peats Ridge, what have you brought? What's the first thing that comes to mind when you're planning a 3-day festival?
You know, it's really funny, to be totally truthful. At this time of year, we just go from festival to festival. And one thing, if you are overseas, Australia at this time of year is phenomenal for festivals. And when you come to a beautiful valley, you got to bring your own stuff with you. You got to bring your bug sprays.
Got to bring your hat. With you, I bet that hat's just the only thing that you need to bring.
This is nothing. This won't do anything for the sun here,
Do you mind
man.
if I sign that for you?
Oh, you can sign my hat.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Logan, Unseen TV, right there. I'll put a little X on there as well because I love your music.
Cool.
All right, now guys, we are so close. We are so close to the end of the year. How would you sum up, I guess, 2011? What were some of the defining points of 2011 for you?
Ben, you go.
Okay, look, I started the year off in India, and I did some gigs over there, and I went through Europe. Then I ended up going to the States, to Detroit, and then I toured all the way around until finally I finished Colombia. And when I came back to Australia, I realized a lot for me this year, and that is how important it is to have a connection with land and species amongst cities. And being over here in Australia where we live, it's so beautiful. You get humbled all the time. And Simi, man, he's out there with just watching the ocean, seeing the birds and the sky. It's something that I think we're really thankful for here in Oz, is a connection with nature and the land, as well as pumping cities like Sydney, where I'm from. You know, it's 5 million people, it's cranking, you know. And so this year for me, as we go into 2012 and what's going on everywhere, I think it's like coming back to the source for me a little bit and just connecting with other elements apart from human beings. So
Yeah, cool.
That's what's going on with me.
Yeah, cool. There's a nice little eco village up the other end of the festival here. Nissan have this brand new car. It's completely electronic, no emissions. So they're doing a bit of a demonstration. So I guess that you've found the right place really to end your year. Sound like it's been a big year for both of you guys. Yeah. Now, what I want to find out is with Bobby. Okay, so he's over in India. How long has he been in the country for? He's probably only been in the country for.
Oh no, he grew up partly in India, partly in the UK, and then when he was maybe a younger kind of man, he came to Australia maybe 10 years ago or something. But he kind of lives in between here and India.
Cool. And how long ago did he fly over? I mean, do you guys communicate when you're in your different countries? How do you stay in touch?
More
with
or
the
less,
music?
but I think he got back a couple of days ago or something.
Yeah, he's literally been here like 3 days, and he came back and called us up, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm up for the gig."
You know, the funny thing is that Bobby Singh, the tabla player in the band, his last gig before he did this one was in a Maharaja temple or something.
Yeah,
and so
in
he's just like,
Rajasthan.
yeah, so he's like in this full-on temple doing this amazing gig, and then he comes here, which is sort of like pumping, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, wow.
But that's what it should be. Music should be real. It should be something you've never seen before. It should keep moving, shouldn't stagnate. And I think there's a lot of repetition in this decade where we are at now. And so I'm really hoping in the next 10 years, we're going to see, you know, beautiful combinations and collaborations, and see music take, just like Si says, technology's changing everything. But for us, sometimes we just like to just play and experiment, even though it's a big gig with like however many thousand people. It's nice to just have a little bit of breathing space.
And how does it work when you're trying to mix and work with another artist and collaborate? Because sometimes there's a little bit of distance that you get between other artists. What's the best way to approach another artist and not look like an idiot and say, "Hey, mate, I want to collaborate and work with you"?
With respect, mutual respect. What? I think we're going to go. It's going to get real loud here right about now.